Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So, we are in fact going to be talking more about Bitcoin, okay, specifically Bitcoin coming up, okay, to $32,000 because, it's been quite some time since we have actually seen Bitcoin at $32,000. Now, the last time we actually saw Bitcoin at $32,000, I'm actually not quite sure when, right? But if we look at the chart here, right, this is the weekly time frame. Okay, and you guys can clearly see the last time we actually seen a Bitcoin at $32,000 was pretty much in June, right? June, okay, was pretty much the last time we actually seen Bitcoin at $32,000. Of course, last year, okay, in June, right, 2022 in June. That was in fact our last time, seeing Bitcoin at 32K. And ever since then, you guys can clearly see Bitcoin did in fact drop back down from that price level, right? So we are in fact coming up to Bitcoin reaching, $32,000. I've been mentioning this many times, right? Now, a few hours ago, right, we actually saw Bitcoin, okay, pump back up to $31,000. Now we have in fact been seeing that for the past few days, right? We know that, right? Bitcoin was in fact touching, $31,000. Okay, we saw one right here, we saw one right here, we saw one right here, and we are in fact seeing one, before. Okay, we didn't see our fourth time hitting $31,000 and Bitcoin rejecting back down to 30K. And you guys can clearly see as of right now, obviously Bitcoin is at $30,000, 30,400, right? So if you guys haven't seen my most previous video, you should definitely check it out. But I pretty much talk about why Bitcoin did in fact have this rejection. Okay, and if you guys want to wonder why, Bitcoin had this rejection, definitely check out, my most previous video, right? The one that I literally just uploaded, about a few minutes ago once you're watching this video. But yes, okay, if you want to check out why Bitcoin had this rejection back down to 30K, definitely check out that video. But yes, Bitcoin did in fact have another rejection back down to $30,000. So when will we see, like the real question here is, when will we actually see Bitcoin, bounce back up to $32,000? And I told you guys a million times, once actually Bitcoin, right? Once Bitcoin actually touches $32,000 and, even surpasses this level of, $32,000, if it goes up to like 32,500 or something like that, right? I think this rally will in fact continue onto the upside, and it seems like, $35,000 is very possible for Bitcoin. Okay, I've been mentioning this many times that the next price target is for sure 35K. That's a very strong price target for Bitcoin to hit, but we need to focus on $32,000, right? So 32K for Bitcoin is in fact incoming very soon. Okay, in my opinion, we could potentially see Bitcoin reach back up to $32,000. And obviously, if it does, that's going to be reaching a new all-time high for Bitcoin this year in 2023. And I think that will in fact happen for Bitcoin. But we need to focus on this resistance line, obviously, right? Obviously, $31,000 is in fact a resistance line for Bitcoin, right? Because it seems like Bitcoin can't really surpass even 30,500, right? So we need to surpass that level, but we will see, right? We will see. Time will tell. So the markets today, okay, the global crypto market cap is in fact slightly going back up even more than where it was yesterday. Okay, 1.19 trillion, which is absolutely amazing overall. The market today is up 0.88%, so it's looking pretty good, right? You guys can see 3.6% return for Ethereum for the past 24 hours. A fair few altcoins today, okay, actually are in fact pumping. You guys see Litecoin, 24%. Litecoin is absolutely pumping up to the upside. Okay, Solana's up, over 7%. Polygon, 4%. Bitcoin Cash, once again, 22%. And now you guys can clearly see Bitcoin Cash is now back up at $300. So that's absolutely amazing to see for Bitcoin Cash, right? $300. Bitcoin Cash, we know for the past week, okay, for the past few days, has in fact been pumping. You know what I mean? You guys can clearly see for the past 30 days, for the past month, it's up 164%, almost 200% for the past 30 days. Just think about that. Bitcoin Cash has in fact been absolutely pumping up to the upside. You guys can see Chainlink, 6%. Okay, so Chainlink is absolutely pumping as well. You guys know I've been talking about Chainlink. Chainlink is one of those altcoins that I'm really, focusing on and just keeping my eye on. And I really do believe Chainlink is going to be one of those altcoins that's going to be in the top 10 in the future. And it's going to perform obviously very well in the next alt season. So obviously in the next bull market. So that's why, guys, I'm really keeping my eye on Chainlink, right? And I'm gonna talk about that even more later on in this video about altcoins. But anyways, I want to show you guys a fair few charts for Bitcoin, of course. Okay, $32,000 is in fact incoming for Bitcoin. But let's talk about this chart right here because it's pretty interesting. So Bitcoin back in 2016 structure printed up to 77x at all-time high, right? Similar structure form here, right? So we are still very, very early, for Bitcoin. You guys see the structure back in 2016, all-time high, and then it dropped, right? At this level, and then obviously absolutely eventually bounce back up, right, to a new all-time high, right? It's always the same cycle, and that's exactly where we are right now. We know back in 2021, Bitcoin obviously reached an all-time high of $69,000, and then Bitcoin dropped 77%, right, from its previous all-time highs all the way down to around $15,000, right? So it went from 69k to 15k, right, in November, and you guys can clearly see that was in fact its bottom, and now it's slowly breaking out, just like what it did back in 2016, right? So obviously it's slowly breaking out right now, right? Back in 2016, slowly breaking out right now. And we know what happens next. You guys can see this massive parabolic movement, right? So we could potentially see that for Bitcoin, and we will. I've been mentioning this many times that I really do in fact see a 50k Bitcoin towards the end of this year in 2023. And for all the people out there, okay, for all the people out there, for all the Bitcoin holders out there that are in fact wondering, when will we see a 100k Bitcoin? I've been mentioning this many times. Personally, I think we will in fact see a 100k Bitcoin in the year 2024, towards the end of the year in 2024. Okay, mark my words. I really do believe we're going to see, Bitcoin reach obviously a new all-time high, reach back up to its previous all-time highs easily, and of course reaching a new all-time high by that time. And I really do see a 100k Bitcoin towards the end of the year in 2024. That is just my personal opinion. Let me know in the comments below if you guys agree or not. But you guys will see this structure is pretty similar right now to what happened in 2016. So time will tell where we'll see if Bitcoin actually has a parabolic movement. We know that obviously the halving is right around the corner, and we know every single time, right? Once we have the halving, that is where Bitcoin tends to pump the most and reach on your all-time high. So before we get into all that, let's talk short term for Bitcoin, right? Now, yes, we know Bitcoin for the past week now, for the past like few days, has in fact been hovering at $31,000. It got rejected many times, and it's gone back down to $30,000, right? We all know that. So pretty much Bitcoin, right, its support level right now, okay, is obviously at $30,000. Now, yes, we could potentially, I've said this many times, we could potentially see Bitcoin have a correction back down to $29,000, maybe even $28,000. That's still very, very possible at this point, right? Nothing is impossible, but that is very possible. What is actually impossible is for Bitcoin to drop all the way back down to $20,000, which is all the way down here, right? I think that's very, very unlikely to happen at this point, right? It's not the time right now for Bitcoin to do that, right? And for Bitcoin to drop that much, something bad has to happen in the market to cause Bitcoin to drop that much, you know what I mean? Like something really bad, right? So I don't think, okay, Bitcoin will ever drop back down to $20,000 or even below $20,000 ever again in history. That is just my personal opinion. I've been mentioning that many times. So if Bitcoin were to have a rejection, it wouldn't be a massive rejection. It'll be somewhere around, $29,000, $28,000, or maybe even $27,000, right? Potentially, right? But after that, it's gonna, reach back up to 30k, and of course reach back up to $31,000 and reach on your all-time high of $32,000. I'm telling you this right now, 32k for Bitcoin is a fact incoming. So prepare for that for all my Bitcoin holders out there. So yes, we could potentially, right? I'm not saying we are in fact 100% going to have this rejection, but we could. It's very, very possible. We could actually form another downtrend, a very slow downtrend down to the downside, like what we saw a couple of weeks ago, right? Bitcoin was in fact forming this very, very slow downtrend, right? So we could potentially see another one, maybe, okay, which is great. It gives us time to DCA more, right? But that's that. Now, $45,000 for Bitcoin, very, very possible. Okay, very, very possible for Bitcoin. Okay, 45k is not impossible. I think that's very, very possible. I think that's easily going to happen maybe sometime this year alone in 2023. Like in the next couple of months, guys. Okay, I do in fact see Bitcoin, reaching $35,000, $40,000, $45,000, and of course $50,000 towards the end of this year in 2023. I think that's, very, very possible. And it seems like, this chart is in fact assuming these targets, right, for Bitcoin to hit. So $45,000 is very, very possible for Bitcoin. So be ready for that. Now, this chart right here is pretty interesting, right? It's pretty interesting. This chart is indicating that Bitcoin will reach at least 200K in the next bull market. So you guys can clearly see this is going to be a massive jump to where we are right now. This is going to be a massive jump, right? To, for Bitcoin to reach, $200,000. Okay. I'm not quite sure what this chart is indicating right here. I'm not going to lie to you guys, right? But you guys can clearly see that this chart is indicating that it's going to reach $200,000 in the next bull market. And I told you guys many times, in the next bull market, I do in fact see a 200K Bitcoin to 50K Bitcoin, maybe even a 300K Bitcoin. Okay, that's pretty possible, right? It may sound crazy, but I think it's very, very possible. The next bull market is going to be nothing compared to, our previous years. You know what I mean? So it's looking pretty good for Bitcoin, right? It seems like a lot of people are in fact bullish for Bitcoin, and we shouldn't be bearish for Bitcoin at all, right? We should be very, very bullish for Bitcoin. Now let's talk about altcoins a little bit. Okay, I understand all of you guys, want to make that money in crypto, and I understand why people are, focusing more on altcoins than Bitcoin. The Bitcoin price is just too high for you guys. I understand that, and you want to invest into a small cap, altcoins. I understand that. You know what I mean? So Solana, right? People are right now, and this is pretty interesting, right? And this is pretty interesting. Hear me out. So Ethereum back in 2019 versus Solana in 2023. Okay, this person has been buying Solana for $20 all of 2023 this year, alone, right? And he's saying it's just like buying Ethereum back in 2019 for $200, right? So we know obviously, Ethereum dropped massively from its previous all-time highs, right, back in 2018, and then it dropped, right? And this green box was in fact the accumulation stage, right? So that was in fact pretty much a buy zone, right? And you guys can clearly see Ethereum was in fact pretty much consolidating for a fair bit of times, and then we know what happened in 2021, right? That's when Ethereum really, really broke out and it pumped like crazy. And guess what? Solana, this chart right here on the right, is Solana of 2023. We know Solana obviously reached a new all-time high of like over $250 back in 2021, obviously, right? Solana was in fact over 250, right? Almost 260. I think its all-time high was like $258 for Solana, okay? And then obviously Solana did in fact have a massive rejection back down to the downside. And right now Solana is currently at $19, so just below $20, right? So what this person is saying is like, Solana right now is obviously a great buying opportunity. Okay, it really, really is. Okay, buying Solana right now in 2023, right now at this very moment, is like buying Ethereum back in 2019 when Ethereum was at $200. And I agree, you know what I mean? Solana has a potential here. Okay, I'm not saying it's 100% going to reach back up to its previous all-time highs. Like, who knows, right? Who knows, right? It could. There's a chance for Solana to do that, right? And if it does, obviously a lot of people are going to make a big load on Solana. It really just depends how much you accumulate, and of course how much you have invested into Solana when Solana's below $20, right? So put it in perspective, Solana could potentially reach back up to its previous all-time highs, just like what Ethereum did back in 2021. We saw Ethereum absolutely pump, right? We know alt season is obviously right around the corner. Okay, so right, we could potentially see a similar structure from what happened in Ethereum in 2021 to, for Solana in, 2024 and of course 2025, right? Alt season's obviously right around the corner. We know the Bitcoin halving is going to happen very, very soon, which means alt season, okay, will happen as well. And we're going to see altcoins pump. Bitcoin's obviously going to pump. It's going to skyrocket, but remember this, altcoins are going to pump as well. Majority of these altcoins in the market, guys, will recover. That's what I want you guys to understand. Majority of them, okay, I will say this, majority of them will reach back up to its previous all-time highs. And it's understandable why people are in fact, investing more into altcoins than Bitcoin, right? It's understandable. They want to make that money. Okay, the Bitcoin price is just too high, right? And these altcoins, yes, I understand you can potentially make more money with altcoins. I understand that, right? But you just got to really, pick the right one, right? Which altcoin is going to perform very well in the next bull market. And you guys understand, majority of these altcoins will perform very well, right? Majority of them, not all of them, but majority of them will perform very well in the next bull market. And Solana is one of them, right? Remember, guys, in 2021, everyone was talking about Solana. And now Solana, since it has dropped, not a lot of people are in fact talking about Solana. You know what I mean? So obviously Solana is obviously a great buy. Have I been buying into Solana? I have, right? You guys know that, right? Literally a couple of weeks ago, I actually bought some Solana. I actually made a video on that. So if you guys haven't checked out that video, you should definitely check it out, right? But I actually did in fact buy some Solana. I might go ahead and buy some more, right? Since Solana has dropped massively. Now, yes, Solana has the potential here to reach back up to its previous all-time highs of pretty much 250, right? And it could potentially reach on your all-time high, you know, in the year 2024 and especially 2025, right? 2025 is going to be like the parabolic movements for Bitcoin and the crypto market, right? Altcoins. So people aren't fast sleeping on Solana and majority of these altcoins. But I told you guys many times, right? Chainlink is really that altcoin that I'm really keeping my eye on. Chainlink is here to stay forever. It's obviously, you know, the biggest Oracle network in the crypto space. So it's here to stay forever. And I really do believe Chainlink's going to be like in the top 10 altcoins, right, in the future. That's just my personal opinion, but we will see. But that's that, guys. So this chart is pretty interesting, right? Buying Sol in 2023 is like buying Ethereum at 2019. So just think about that. Okay, now to end off this video, I just want to give you guys a quick little update on the FinGreed index. It's currently at 56, so we are in fact back at greed, right? Yesterday was actually in neutral at 54, right? And now today it's currently at 56 in greed, so it's jumped up slightly than yesterday, which is great to see. So that's that, guys. And it seems like we are in fact back in greed mode, which is amazing to see, and we should be, right? But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this one here. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I will in fact be streaming later on today. While you're watching this video, I will probably have already streamed, but come enjoy the stream. I would appreciate that. If you guys have any questions, I'll try my best to answer it in the stream. So that being said, guys, I'll see you guys there, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a best day, guys.